Hey everybody. Hey guys. Welcome to my couch. We're going to do a live from my couch today. So if you're watching the replay, let's get super cozy and let's talk about your money blocks. Now, this idea came to me because I was really trying to figure out how do I make my clients a lot of money? Sometimes I'm even like, how does it happen? Like, how is this working? How is this happening? Um, and sometimes I'm even amazed at it. And then when I think about the process, I think, oh, of course, because the big thing I focus on with all of my clients is not a marketing strategy. It's not how to post things to certain ways at certain times. It's not how to do this thing or that thing. It's not anything about that. The only thing I ever and only talk about with my clients is their mindset and their money. So every single day I check in with them, we go through a mindset kind of question or we go through a money question. And then from there, what happens is then my clients take the action they need to take that will then lead them to making more money. But what's happening first is that most of my clients aren't even aware that they have a fucked up relationship with money. So they're kind of like, oh, I just need more people to see my stuff. I need more, people. I need more likes. I need more followers. I need the right people to find my stuff. I hear that a lot. And you actually don't need any of that. You don't need more people to find you. You don't need more likes or Instagram followers. You're not getting in front of the wrong people. What you're doing is you're not really aware of your money blocks that you have. So when you're not aware of your money blocks, you just keep operating from the same place of, there's not enough money to go around. There's not enough clients to go around. There's a lack. There's always a lack. That's kind of the underlying thing. There's a lack and there's a lack and it keeps lacking and it keeps lacking. And that's why I can't get the clients I want to get, right? But let's talk about what money blocks look like, all right? So if you don't know if you have money blocks, let's think about, let me try and give you 3 ways to know if you have money blocks, okay? And then I'll talk about why this relates to photographers big time, big time. Photographers are definitely, that's why I work so well with photographers, I think, because they actually have the most money blocks by far, by any industry, by any standards. Photographers seem to have the lowest threshold for accepting money for their services, and they also seem to have the most guilt around wanting to charge a lot. Yeah, big time. More than any other profession or services that I work with, really, honestly. Okay. So 3 ways to know if you have money blocks, if you're not even sure about this thing, if you don't even think this whole thing is real. One, I want to ask you, how much do you look at your money? If I was to ask you right now, how much money you have in your bank account, how much do you have on a credit card, how much do you have on another credit card, how much do you have in your business checking account, how much money do you have on your business credit card, how much money do you have in a retirement fund, how much money do you have in another account, anything like that, and you don't know the answer to that, it might not be something you look at every single day, the other accounts that you're not really touching, but looking at your checking account and anything you have in debt, you should know that number and look at it every single day, all right? And if you are avoiding looking at the amount of money that you have a money block. You do not want to become real with your relationship with money. You don't want to see your relationship with money. You don't even want to think about your relationship with money, so you avoid and avoid and avoid, all right? So if you don't know how much money, I just realized I mistyped that. How much do you look at your money? How much do you look like money? Question, right? Okay, so how much do you look at your money? And then do you know how much money you have in your checking account, on your credit cards, etc. In any other account that you have, okay? That's pretty much the gist of it. If you don't, it should be like that redneck thing. If you don't, then you're redneck. If you don't, then you have a money block. And that really just stems from that you don't kind of want to look at and own up to how much money you have. Like, you don't want to look at that relationship with money. You want to avoid, and act like it doesn't exist. All right. So that's definitely a big step in telling if you have a money block. All right. How much do you look at your money? Step number 2, how do you feel about people who have a lot of money? Okay, so this is a really, really good step. And it might not be a lot of money. All I want you to kind of think about is, how do you feel about people who, I guess maybe a lot of money would be it. What I'm trying to get is, how do you feel about people who, a lot of people don't, they think money is greedy, they think money is bad, they think if they ask for more money, especially if you are religious in any way, you've really been trained and programmed that wanting a lot of money is bad and you're greedy and you're terrible if you want to have more money than what you need right now. And actually expanding money into having more money is doing well for everybody. If you have more money, okay, if you make more money this year, that only means that things can get better for everybody else in your life. And even for other women that you work with or pay. Like, think about it, right? If you were to make more money this year as a photographer, I know if you are a woman photographer watching this, and if you were to make more money, all I know is that means that then you would hire assistants or editors, and probably a lot of those people who do those jobs will either be creative men or women. So all you're doing is creating more money for the world and more money to people who maybe need it, or more money for people who would do good with it. So you having more money is not a terrible thing. It is a great thing. But if you truly look at how you're viewing other people with money, so maybe if I give you something more specific, how do you feel about people who own, and I just want you to think of people when you think of people that have a lot more money than you. So mine used to be that people with like BMWs and everything like that. And I live in New Jersey, and New Jersey is full of people with like fancy ass cars. So how do you feel about people who own BMWs? And for you, that might not be the thing. How do you feel about people who have big homes? How do you feel about people who have like super nice clothes? Maybe they have a really expensive handbag or a really expensive handbag. Yep. So right here, if there's anything and any weird feelings and any negative feelings you have around people who have things that are expensive, who have things that cost a lot of money. If you look at people who have things like a nice car or a nice handbag or anything like that, and you think like, oh God, like why do they don't even need that, like, or like, I hate people who have like these types of cars or anything like that. Like, why don't you just get like a regular thing or something like that? And again, that whole religious thing that I said before, if you see that a lot, if you're a religious person, I see a lot of like brainwashing around wanting more than you already have. Okay. So definitely, if you have any weird feelings about people who have a lot of money, more, it might not be a lot. It might just be that they have a little bit more than you. If you are feeling negative around them, but you want to make more money, there's no way your brain will actually allow you to make more money if you feel like it's like a negative thing that people do have money. Like, if you think that someone who has a BMW is greedy and a dick or like a douchebag, but then here you are saying you would love to have a 6-figure year, and no, maybe you wouldn't spend it on a BMW, but here you are looking at someone who is already making a significant amount of money. They're probably making over 6 figures, or I don't know, whatever, if they're driving around a nice vehicle, right? And here you are saying you want to make 6 figures, but you think that the person driving a car who probably is making over 6 figures is a douchebag or a dick, then your mind literally will not let you make more money than what you are comfortable with, because you already in your head associate that like it's negative, it's gross, it's terrible, it's like this awful thing that people want to have more money and spend it on nice things. All right, does that make sense to you guys? If you see someone and you think they're a jerk, but then you want to make that much money, let me know if that makes sense, even if you're watching the replay. All right, so that's number 2. Okay, so how do you feel about people who have a lot of money? And then the third way to tell if you have a money block, and this is, I'm just listing out the things that I see a lot with photographers who have money blocks. So one, we talked about, do you look at your money every day? 2, how do you feel about people who have a lot of money? And 3, your pricing and your worth. Okay, so if you have wanted to raise your prices for a while, if you are always focusing on the cheapest people in your area and how they're taking from you, oh, I see photographers all the time. The photographers with like, this person over here has the cheapest, like she's like a brand new photographer and she's selling this thing, she's selling a whole session with all these prints and this like that for $50, and I can't believe she would do that. Like, why are you guys spending so much time on this? This is really rampant in the photography industry. All right. All right, so let me reword this a little bit different. Okay, your pricing and your worth. If you wanted to raise your prices and you haven't, okay. If you are always, also, I'm going to put this in here. If you are always thinking about the people who are new and are charging like $50 for a session, and you think, oh no, they're going to take my clients. This is what I'm actually typing out. And then one more thing. Okay, your pricing and your worth. If you want to raise your prices and you haven't, if you always think about the people who are new and they're charging like $50 for a session and they're giving all these prints. If you are getting into fights in Facebook groups, I see this a lot too, okay? If you're getting into fights in Facebook groups about people who are undercharging, you have a money block, okay? You have a money block. If you in any way, sorry guys, this is all moving around a lot. I'm totally lazying it up today for this live. If you in any way, in any shape, in any form, you are giving any energy, even a thought, a second thought, 10-second thought, into someone who writes in a Facebook group about how they are doing a session and charging like $50 for a session that you normally charge $250 to $500 for, and they are undercutting you, and you are giving them any ounce of energy, you have a money block. It is the dumbest and most ridiculous way to actually spend your time focusing on people who are levels and levels and experience below you. They don't even, this isn't even, like, I see this happen all the time. This is very common with photographers too. Just photographers. I don't really see coaches focusing on this. I don't really see any freelance entrepreneurs ever focusing on this. I don't see anybody who's like, I own, a hair color, a hair salon, and there's a salon around me from the block, and they don't give a shit. Photographers, for some reason, love to look at the people who are undercharging and think about these people and give them so much time and energy. And I don't understand it at all, okay? So I know you guys think that they're ruining the industry, but the only person that can ruin your business is you. The only person that cannot get the money that they deserve to get is you. The only person who is stopping you from raising your prices to the level and feeling the worthiness that you want to feel is you. So if you're spending any ounce of energy or time focusing on people who are undercharging for their services, who are not owning their value and their worth, if you get upset about that, what that very clearly tells you is that you are not owning your worth and you are not owning your prices as a photographer. And I know that this is rampant in the photography industry. It is so fucking crazy. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen, because I don't see any other business owners ever worrying about this. Ever. I don't see a pizza place in New Jersey. We have pizza places and nail salons like in my town, like rampant. And I don't see any other pizza place ever saying, who's been open for 20 years and has awards and has loyal customers, ever getting worried about another pizza place that opens up down the street and charges like $1 less for their slices or something. No, because you already have the experience and the credentials, and you already have had clients and testimonials. And when you are giving an ounce of your energy to a situation like that, all you are saying is like, This is where I'm going to put my energy instead of actually putting my energy into finding the people and feeling my worth. So there are your 3 steps of why photographers have the most. There's 3 steps to figure out if you have money blocks, and these are all related to photographers and why photographers are so fucked in the head about money. All right, guys? So there's those 3 steps. If you said yes to any one of these, you have a money block as a photographer. And I'm going to come back later this week. I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow. Maybe I will, and I'm going to do another Facebook Live about how to overcome these really 3 common money blocks as a photographer. So come back in here, watch the thing today. If you're watching the replay and you love this video, give me a heart. Give me some hearts on this stuff, guys. All right, and I'll come back in and I'll tell you how to get over these money blocks as a photographer. Okay, bye everyone.